Good morning, friends. Michelle here with Halfway Homestead, and this morning we're in the garden. It is about 63 degrees and I am loving this cool temperature. It won't stay this way, so I'm going to work quickly and try to get a lot done before it gets hot. This is the bed that I planted carrots in, and they are doing very, very poorly. I don't think it is the fault of the seed company or even the weather. It is the fault of the gardener. Because if you remember in my last video, I had just had my gallbladder out. And so with being laid up after that, I couldn't get out here to make sure the seeds were, kept moist. And so I've had some pretty poor germination. And I'm hoping that my microphone will pick up the audio well enough because it is windy out here this morning. So I do have a few carrots coming up, but what I'm going to do is instead of just focus on carrots in this bed, I'm going to go ahead and plant in some peppers. Let me grab these over here. These are all, let's see, all but one is a bell pepper. Different varieties. I've got California Wonder. I've got, let's see, that's California Wonder, Red Bell, more California, no, more Red Bell. This one is an albino, so it's a white pepper. And then I'm going to throw in a Notapeno. So I'm going to put 6 peppers in this bed. If I have room for more, I'll put more in. But that is my plan for right now. I do have some other plants here that need to go in the ground. I have a couple calendula, some kale, some thyme, and I did go yesterday to Tractor Supply. They had some plants on sale, so I picked up 2 beefsteak. One is a lemon boy, which is a yellow, and the other is a red. Big beef is what it's called. And so Scott really likes sliced tomatoes on his sandwiches, and some of the heirlooms don't, I mean, they get big enough, but they're not his favorite. So I picked these up and we'll get those planted. But first, before I do any planting, I want to take you around, show you the garden real quick. Really a lot has grown and changed since our last video, which I think was 2 weeks ago. And so yeah, I want to show you what it looks like. Okay, right next to the carrot pepper bed are my 2 beds of asparagus. I still have not remedied the fronds being everywhere. One reason I went to Tractor Supply yesterday was to buy T-posts, and they were $6 a piece. And I just think that's a ridiculous price. So I don't know what I'm going to do. All right, this is my loofah. It's a round loofah, one I've not grown before. Next to it, I have some little pumpkins. I have Jack Be Little and some sugar pie. This is my Tromboncino, and it has almost reached the top of the trellis. It is definitely taller than me. So here's me, and up there's the Tromboncino. It's doing really well. We even have some little gourds starting around, so I can show you. Like here, okay? I don't know if all of them have been pollinated yet. So with gourds and zucchini, a lot of times you get either male or female flowers starting first, and it takes a while for the plant to be producing both, so you can get that pollination. And the dreaded Japanese beetles are back. I despise those little creatures. This trellis, we have our sugar snap peas. Those will be coming out probably this week. The new peas that it's putting on are tasty, but some of them that have been on there for a little while are getting gross, but we'll see. I have a cantaloupe down at the bottom. When the sugar snap peas come out, there'll be more cantaloupe. This bed is finally starting to grow and fill out. I've got calendula and kale and rosemary. Thyme, that other thyme I bought, I'm going to put in this bed too. A few zinnias, some basil. It's looking good. Our cantaloupe are blooming and growing. I haven't seen any little fruits yet, but the blooms are on there. Well, this might be a little fruit right here. No, I don't know. The cantaloupe aren't as easy to tell as the tromboncino. Over there behind the tromboncino is my garlic. Oh, let me show you something with the garlic. So I only heard about this on YouTube a few weeks ago, and I had noticed that my garlic was doing something kind of weird. And Bree Ellis, she's in Kansas, and she mentioned witches brooming, and that is what hers looked like also. And so what happens is, let me get you turned around and set up. Okay. What happens is, you know, the garlic is out here all winter. And then as the spring comes and it starts warming up, the garlic starts to grow, and then it starts to form its bulb. Well, this spring, I'm not even sure it was actually spring yet. We had like 80 and 90 degree temperatures in February, and then we dropped back down to freezing. And so the garlic thinks it has gone through 2 winters. And so it actually split and started growing again. And I don't know if I can, let me get my pitchfork and we'll see if we can get that out of there. I tried to pull one the other day and it broke on me. Okay, there we go. Okay, that is a very nice sized bulb. And I'm impressed that oh, there it is. There's the split. If you can see that right there. Okay, so this garlic is still good to use. It's just not as pretty. And probably not as big as it could have been. This one's got a big, see, they're just not very big this year. But that's okay, they're still good. Then, let's see. I've got some volunteer dill in there. And at the end, I have my 2 pole cherry tomatoes, which I've never grown before. And sure enough, they are only producing 1 liter and getting very tall. I keep coming out here and just kind of winding the cord around the plant so that they'll stay standing. Like this one, I need to wrap around a little bit. There we go. Okay. And they have little blooms. So we'll see what that's like. One of them is called a Gardener's Delight, and one of them is called a Tropical Sunset. So we'll see. And I put in celery at the bottom and a butterfly pea that's really struggling. On this side, we have cucumbers, and I am pleased to say there are tiny cucumbers. Another butterfly pea. This cucumber's variety is called Lisboa, and I love this one for both pickling and just slicing to eat. It is the seeds are a little pricey, but they are prolific and they are delicious. In here behind the cucumbers, I have my onions, and look at this, guys. Look at the size of that bulb. I love it. Those are from Dixondale Farms, and the variety Candy, and it's a yellow sweet onion. I also have in here some Pattersons, which is a red onion. They, let me show you. They have already, well, come on, camera. There we go. They've already fallen over. Their bulbs are not quite as big, but they're delicious. We had some for supper the other night. And then the ground cherries have reseeded themselves in here. Once the onions come out, I'm just going to let the ground cherries have that bed. We have our sweet potatoes that are growing so well. Green beans that, oh, on the other end are blooming. Let me show you that. I did have to plant some of the green beans twice. Here we've got some green bean blooms. Oh, look, there's a tiny bean. Yay. Let's go down here because this end was blooming a few days before. More blooms, more blooms. Another tiny bean. Okay, good deal. This variety is Jade. And this has been, we have grown this for probably, I don't know, probably the last maybe first. And they are prolific. And they're delicious. They're stringless. So good. Next to the beans, we have our golden beets. And they're doing fairly well. I did have to reseed some of those. Okay, let's get down here and look at some of the beets and see if we can tell if anything's happening yet. Oh, yep. See that? There's a little beet in there. Good deal. Last year was my first year to grow golden beets, and they were so good. I had some empty spots, so I plugged in some peppers, and I don't even know what kind I did. I'm so bad about labeling in the garden, and it's just a surprise when it produces. But I do know that I only planted sweet peppers or bells. This row is all tomatoes and flowers. I've got a flower in between each tomato. Okay. Next row is also, let's see, over here we've got peppers and dill. So peppers and dill all the way down. Again, I don't know. Oh, looky there. There's a volunteer zinnia in the walkway. And then down here at the end, I do have a tomato. Okay, and a couple sunflowers. Next row is the same. It's tomatoes and flowers. Volunteer potato in the middle, volunteer potato at the other end. Crazy potatoes. This whole row is potatoes. Now, something exciting, the potatoes is at least 12 of these plants I started from seed. And where did I get those seeds? I'll have to look. I think they came from Epic Gardening, but I will put the name of the seed company on the screen because I can't remember for sure. But I do know the variety is called Clancy. And so that was exciting to get little potato plants from a seed. I've always only planted seed potatoes. And yes, I know it's a grassy mess and it's okay. On the cattle panels here, I've got tomatoes and flowers. A couple tomatoes have to be replaced. They just started looking really spindly and just sickly, so I pulled them out. I do know one of those was a Chadwick cherry, and I do not have any more Chadwick cherries to replace it with, so I'll just put something else in there. The other one, I'm not sure what it was, but I have a few extra other plants that I can put in. Flowers, this was a volunteer bean. It is technically taller than me, or officially taller than me. Tomatoes, flowers, tomatoes. There is a volunteer tomato at the other end. Down here, there's a big bunch of dill. This one, I think, is probably a Barry's Crazy Cherry because I had Barry's Crazy Cherry down here at the end, and that one volunteered. And then we have this sea of grass. So this first row, oh look, this zinnia is going to bloom. Zinnias are probably my most favorite flower to have in the garden. This row was supposed to be navy beans, and I think only 2 seeds germinate. I used the entire packet of seeds and only 2 germinated, and I thought that was very sad. And I don't know if it was my fault or if it was just a bad packet of seeds. I don't know. But the rest is peppers. Next to it, between the bricks, and I'll explain why I did the bricks. Jeremy, my son, was going to come out and till between the rows, and he didn't know what I had planted where. So I marked the okra with bricks, and then he ran out of gas in the tiller and didn't get down to this end. And he's been busy at work, and we've had lots and lots of rain, so he hasn't been back to work on it. Let's move this. Okay, there we go. Look. I don't even know what that is. Down here, here's something blooming. In this area, I put different gourds and pumpkins, some yellow squash, some patty pan, and I have got to get in here with the grass, but we're supposed to get more rain tonight and tomorrow. So it's hard to get in here and cover these because the buckets are getting too, or the plants are getting too tall. That's an okra. And I don't want the bucket to disturb the growth of the plant. That's an okra. But I use these little trash cans, that's okra, from Dollar Tree. One, so I know where I've planted stuff, and then also so that Daisy, I don't think there's a, yeah, that's an okra. So that Daisy and Sassy don't lay on the plants because they love laying in the garden. This corner down here, I'm so excited about. This is popcorn. And the border of straw is probably not going to stay there. But again, I was trying to mark the area. I wanted the popcorn in a plot so that when they tassel, I would have good pollination. And also, the day that I put the shredded paper down, it was so windy. And so I put a border of straw to help hold the paper and mark the area. And so I'll be pulling that straw out and putting it on my raspberries. So here's one of my raspberry spots. These are Heritage. And I just put those in last year, and they are huge. And they are producing like crazy. Look at that. And they are so good. There's a few on there that are ready to pick. And the Japanese beetles love the raspberries. Okay, over here right next to the raspberries, this is another raspberry and blackberry bed that we put in our first, I think we had been here a year when we put this plot in. And this is really the first year that they have done well. We get berries off of them each year, but this year they've really, there's a blackberry in there. They've just really spread this year, and yeah, I'm excited about these. Look at all these. And this is a thornless blackberry. So good. All right, I will have to come out here later and get the blackberries and raspberries picked. And then we have our fruit trees. We have some Fuji apples. We have Honeycrisp, which we have yet to get any apples from. And then down at the other end, we have peach trees. We did have pear trees. I don't think the pear trees made it. And then at the way end down there, we had 2 big peach trees when we moved in, which we've been in this house. It was 6 years in March. And so those peach trees at some other time had fallen over, but continued to produce peaches. And I have canned peaches off of those trees. They were a white peach, which we are not big fans of the white peaches. They are so tart. But I still have several jars of that in the freezer. And then this last winter, we had a couple different storms, and each one of those storms took the trees the rest of the way out. So Scott cut them the rest of the way down. And beyond that far stump, we have another raspberry patch that was just put in this year. So that is the garden tour for today. I know, kind of short and sweet. I've changed my mind a few times. Something else, last fall or late summer, I was going to cover this whole thing with the black weed fabric. And then this year I changed my mind and didn't do it. And so, I don't know, guys. That's one good thing about gardening. You can change your mind and it's still fabulous. I just hate the way the weed fabric looks. But when it gets so grassy, like down there at the other end, I just become overwhelmed and don't even want to mess with it. Hello, Sassy girl. Hi. Sassy's my little garden kitty. I don't know where Daisy went to. I don't know. She's around here somewhere. But anyway, the grass becomes overwhelming, and I just need to deal with it. So I'll get there. It does make me feel good to watch YouTube videos, and other people's gardens are just as grassy or more grassy than mine. And that's okay. It makes me feel better about the way mine looks. All right, friends. I am going to stop the video right there and get to planting those peppers and some tomatoes and kale and stuff. And then I will be heading inside to start preparing for this week's farmer's market. So today is Tuesday. I start preparing on Tuesday. I do more preparations on Wednesday, and then bake all day Thursday and all morning Friday. And then we are set up and ready to sell by 3 o'clock in Eldon. And so far it has been really good. It's been a lot of fun. My kids come and set up with me. They're grown, but they bring their own stuff to sell. And this week I think my mom is coming, and it has just been so much fun. So guys, I appreciate you clicking on my channel, watching. If you like my channel, like my videos, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.